Hello students, welcome to our class. Today we are going to discuss about the topic that is cyclic photophosphorylation. So before understanding the term cyclic photophosphorylation, it is necessary to know the meaning of photophosphorylation. First of all, the photophosphorylation word can be split into the two, that is the photo and phosphorylation. Photo means light and phosphorylation means addition of phosphate. So the photophosphorylation of ADP to form ATP using the energy of sunlight is called as the photophosphorylation. Means ADP is a compound in which the inorganic phosphate is added and it will converted into the ATP, which is called as the energy source. So this conversion takes place in the presence of sunlight, hence it is called as the photophosphorylation. Means addition of extra phosphate, that is inorganic phosphate, to the phosphate compound, which is converted into the new phosphate compound, and this conversion is called as the photophosphorylation. So this is the beneficial process for the photosynthesis and hence it requires the light. So in this picture we can see the phosphate, that is inorganic phosphate, is added into the ADP and it is converted into the ATP in the presence of sunlight. So this is nothing but the photophosphorylation. There are mainly two types of the photophosphorylation, that is on the mode of the electron transport from the reaction center. So first one is a cyclic photophosphorylation and second one is the non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So in this video we are going to discuss about the cyclic photophosphorylation only, and in the next video we will see about the non-cyclic one. So cyclic photophosphorylation takes place inside the chloroplast of the leaves. We know that the photosynthesis takes place inside the leaves because in the leaves the chloroplast is there, which contain the chlorophyll pigment. So obviously if this process is helpful for the photosynthesis, then obviously the cyclic photophosphorylation will take place inside the chloroplast of the leaves, and mainly it takes place in the stoma lamellae membrane. In the last video we had discussed about the stroma, granas and stoma lamellae and all cell parts and all cell organelle parts of the chloroplast. So we know very well about the stroma lamellae. So on the membrane of stroma lamellae this reaction takes place. So in the examination this question may be asked that which is the site for the cyclic photophosphorylation. So you will go with the stroma lamellae membrane. So this process takes place in the stroma lamellae membrane of the chloroplast. So the process of cyclic photophosphorylation involves only photosystem first. Photosystem is nothing but the combination of accessory and essential pigments. So photosystem brings about the absorption of light and converts it into the food energy. So the electron come back to the reaction center after the photophosphorylation, and hence this is called as the cyclic photophosphorylation. That means in the cyclic photophosphorylation the reaction center is there. In each and every photosystem there is an reaction center which is always be the chlorophyll A. So chlorophyll absorbs the electron, that is light energy, and convert it into the food energy, that is chemical energy, that is carbohydrate. So whenever the chlorophyll A transmit the electron to the next electron carrier level, so after the photophosphorylation the electron comes back to the reaction center again, that is to the chlorophyll A. So in this manner the chlorophyll A get its electron after the photophosphorylation, and hence it is called as the cyclic photophosphorylation. That means the electron comes back to the reaction center. So in this picture you can see this is the membrane of stroma lamellae, and in this membrane the whole process of cyclic photophosphorylation takes place. So this form of the photophosphorylation occurs on the membrane of the stroma lamella or the Fred channel. In cyclic photophosphorylation, the high energy electron released from the P700 of PS first flows down in a cyclic pathway. That means the PS first, that is photosystem first, contain the reaction center, that is chlorophyll A, which is having the capacity to absorb the light of 700 nanometers wavelength. So P700 means it is the capacity of the reaction center to absorb the light of that wavelength. So obviously the photosystem first indicates that it is having the chlorophyll A reaction center which will absorb the light of the 700 nanometer wavelength. So whenever this chlorophyll A absorb the light, so it absorb the light on and get excited, and after the excitation it flows down the electrons, that is the energy electron, to the next level. This transformation takes place in the cyclic pathway. So in cyclic electron flow, the electron begins in the pigment complex called as the photosystem first. Means whatever the transformation will be there, it will be through electron carriers that are present in the photosystem first. So it passes from the primary acceptor to the ferredoxin, and then to the plastoquinone, and then to the cytochrome B6F, which is a similar complex to that found in the mitochondria, and then to plastocyanin, and before returning to the photosystem first. So that means these are some electron carriers which are similar to the mitochondria, and these electron carriers help in the transformation of electron from one level to the another, and during the transformation it creates the energy by the process of photophosphorylation, which is called ATP. So in bacterial photosynthesis, a single photosystem is used and therefore is involved in the cyclic photophosphorylation. That means in the bacteria there is only the cyclic photophosphorylation because there is a single system present, that is called PS first. For the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, we need the both system, that is PS1 and PS2, that we will see in the next video. But for the cyclic, there is only the requirement of the photosystem first. So in bacteria there is only the single system is present, that is single photosystem is present, which is photosystem first, and hence therefore there is presence of cyclic photophosphorylation only. So it is favored in the anaerobic condition and conditions of the high irradiance and the CO2 compensation point. So let's observe this diagram. So in this diagram you can see there is the PS first, that is photosystem first, which brings about the cyclic photophosphorylation, and it is having the LSC first, that is light harvesting complex. So in this complex we will get all the accessory and essential pigments that are responsible for the cyclic photophosphorylation. So it is having a chlorophyll A as a reaction center, which will absorb the light of 700 nanometer wavelength. So that's why it is indicated by the number, that is P700. So after absorbing the light of 700 nanometer, this chlorophyll A, that is the reaction center, gets excited and it emits its outer shell electron to the next electron carrier level. So in this diagram we can see the chlorophyll A, that is P700, is emitting the electrons to the FRS, that is the ferredoxin reducing substance, and then this ferredoxin reducing substance gives its electron to the ferredoxin. That means there is transmission of electron from ferredoxin reducing substance, that is FRS, to ferredoxin, and then ferredoxin gives this electron to cytochrome B6, and when ferredoxin transmits this electron to cytochrome B6, there is a formation of one ATP molecule by the process of photophosphorylations. Mean in the ADP one inorganic phosphate is added to convert it into the ATP. So this is called photophosphorylation first. After that, cytochrome B6 transmit the electron to cytochrome F after the photophosphorylation first, and then there is a chance of photophosphorylation second. So between the transport of electron from cytochrome B6 to cytochrome F, there is second photophosphorylation occurs, and in this way the ADP combines with the inorganic phosphate and form the second ATP molecule in between the cytochrome B6 and cytochrome F. And after the second photophosphorylation, the cytochrome F gives the electron to the plastocyanin, and then the plastocyanin gives the electron to the reaction center as a return. That means whenever the chlorophyll A emits the electron to the electron carriers, these electron carriers accept the electron, perform the function of photophosphorylation and give the electron back to the reaction center, and hence it forms a cycle of the electron transport, and hence it is called as the cyclic photophosphorylation. Means cyclic flow of electron is coordinated with the formation of the ATP, that is the photophosphorylation. This is called as the cyclic photophosphorylation, which is only useful for the formation of ATP, which is the high energy source. So after studying this whole process, one question arises that why cyclic photophosphorylation is necessary and what are the significance of the cyclic photophosphorylation. So when the plant has enough reducing agent, that is NADPH, there is no need for the production of more NADPH that involves both in the photosystem first and second. That means in the photosystem first and second there is requirement of NADPH, which is the reducing agent. So this reducing agent helps to gain the electron and also act as an energy source. But for the formation of NADPH, there must be the presence of photosystem second. But in the cyclic photophosphorylation, only photosystem first is active. So the cyclic one is needed at this time because it can generate the ATP with less cost. So whenever there is absence of photosystem second which produce the NADPH, so then the cyclic photophosphorylation helps because it contains only the photosystem first. So photosystem first will form the ATP molecules with less cost and also it will generate the energy to provide the speed for the photosynthesis reaction. So main aim of the cyclic photophosphorylation is to creating energy and to give the ATP molecules for the photosynthesis when there is absence of photosystem second. Means it always makes the photosynthesis as a continuous process without failure by providing the ATP molecules as a energy source and also increases the rate of reaction, that is it increases the rate of photosynthesis in the absence of photosystem second. So this is all about the cyclic photophosphorylation. I hope it will help you in your easy learning process. Thanks for watching this video. Keep learning, keep growing, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.